Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the room. Oh my God, this number is going up. Good evening. How's everybody doing this evening? You can unmute yourselves and talk to me.
Real quick, unmute yourselves.
Peace.
Good afternoon. How are you all?
Blessings.
Good evening. I think we got some people on the West Coast talking about good afternoon.
Yeah, I was like,
shout out to everybody. Good evening, everybody. Coach Mike, how you feeling?
I'm wonderful, sir. How are you?
Carter the GOAT Cofield, how you feeling, bro?
I'm blessed, brother.
Listen, man, Carter is somewhere on the equator. I just hope the Wi-Fi is good over there, bro.
No, we A1 since day
We
one.
A1. I love it, man. Thank you for joining us, man. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Ashley, thank you for coming. Mr. White, it's good to see you. Tanya, good to see you. Claudia, hello, how you feeling? Everybody who got their cameras on, I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys coming on. Who else we got here? Mike Morgan, how you feeling? We got another Mike Morgan here.
I know, right? I saw that. I was like, really? What's that about?
That's wild, man. Thank you guys for coming on. As you guys know, I wanted to open up the mentorship every month. We do a mastermind call with an elite person in some type of industry. And Carter comes at least once a year to bless me. I always appreciate it. And I think it's time that he came on towards the end of the year because it's that tax season. It's that time. And bro, can I tell him what your price is for you when somebody takes you on, when you take on somebody, what your price is?
Go ahead.
$50K. Did the price go up or is it still $50K?
It's 50.
It's 50,000 for this man to do your taxes, right? And we got him on the call tonight. Now, the reason he charges this is because at minimum, he's going to save you 50K. So it's a
minimum save 100.
A minimum is 100. So anybody that hires you, they up at least 50.
Yep. That's in our contract. If I don't save you twice as much as I cost you, you get a refund. So I'm not refunding anybody's money. So that's going to save 100.
Send me your link, bro. I'm gonna make sure I put that in the YouTube. Send you some people. That's what we're talking. Oh, you talking heavy. That's what's up. I love to hear it. Bro, listen, man. We opened up the mentorship. A lot of people, they about to get hit with a tax bill. You know, us entrepreneurs, like, we not worried about April. You know, it's not a good time for us, man. Right. We trying to save the book coin.
Ain't it crazy how, like, all childhood you're looking forward to, like, March for the tax refund, and then, like, when you're an entrepreneur, like, you dread it the same time.
I dread it. I'm not looking forward to it. So I got like 6 weeks to get a couple of write-offs on. So I gotta buy some real estate, take a couple of trips. I'm gonna write some stuff off. I'm going to Dubai next month, so I'm gonna write some stuff off so I can tell the government, yeah, it was a business trip. It was a business trip, 100%. My guy, listen, I'm not gonna take your time. I thank everybody that joined us tonight. One thing I always say, I'm not gonna waste your time and I'm not gonna waste your money. And sometimes time is money, not all the time. But bro, my mentees are yours. We got a lot of free people on the call. They wanted to see what the Sloan Academy was about and the elite people that we have. So again, thank you to our coach Mike, who's always taking care of the mentees. Carter, the people are yours, man. Talk to us tonight.
Hey Carter, before you start, let me just go over a couple of house rules, guys. If you have any questions, just raise your hand, and when Carter sets fit, he'll answer them. And Carter, before you go in, I sent you a text. I sent you a private message. Make sure you read that for me. Guys, as always, with Bella Sloan, on behalf of our founder Herman and our CEO Damaris, we always try to bring you the best quality in everything. And let me tell you about Carter. Let me tell you before Carter even gets started. His famous quote is, "How you do anything is how you do everything." So I advise you to take notes, because I promise you, he's going to save you a minimum of $5 on this call.
Is it $5 or
$5,000? A minimum.
Okay.
A minimum. Okay. A minimum. All right, Carter, take it away.
All right, guys. So first of all, hey, Mike, can you mute everybody, please?
Yeah.
Or just make sure they have the.
You gotta mute yourself, Carter. There you go.
Okay, cool. My bad. Okay, cool. So, guys, I want to start where Herman left off. Like, let me ask you all a question. When is tax season? Drop it in the chat. When is tax season? Or when we taught tax season was as a kid? Like when is tax season? April, every day, Feb. April. Good answers. Come on, everybody. Got you. Okay, let me get this going. Come on. I put y'all link in my story. There we go. Okay, cool. So, all right. So I was smart. Like my parents taught me like tax season, like January through April. Now, I'm gonna give you one of the best tax lessons you're gonna ever learn, and that is that the middle class think that tax season is January through April. So they go to their CPAs and say, hey, here go my paperwork to file taxes. How much am I gonna owe? Right? Wealthy people understand that there are two tax seasons. There's tax paying season, which is January through April, but then there's tax saving season, which is August through December. And they go to their CPAs during tax saving season and say, hey, what strategies can I implement to make sure I don't have to pay taxes? Right? So there are two different people, the two types of people. The people that go to CPA ask, how much am I going to owe? Then there are people that go to a CPA and ask, what strategies can I implement to make sure I don't owe? Right? So you got to make sure you're on the right side of the equation if you want to win the game. So right now is tax saving season. So you need to be doing everything that you possibly can before the year is out. You need to be implementing every strategy you can before the year is out to make sure that you pay the minimum taxes as possible. Does that make sense? Drop yes in the chat. Like that's one of the best lessons that I can just give you off rip. Once, if you take care of business during tax saving season, you don't got to worry about nothing during tax paying season. Period. If you take care of business during tax saving season, you don't got to worry about nothing. You know, worry about nothing. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to worry about nothing during tax paying season. So right now was the time for you to look alive when it comes to taxes. Okay. So I'm going to start. I'm gonna give y'all the bad news about taxes, then I'm gonna give y'all the good news, okay? So here's the bad news, right? The bad news is that the average American, on average, pays about 50% of their income to Uncle Sam. 51% to be exact. So the average person pays 51% in taxes. That's half the money that you made all year. That's too much, right? And I don't want that to be you, right? So that means that the first 6 months of the year, you are working for free. That is so when you go to work January, February, March, April, May, June, you're working for free, right? And I want you to know that all the money that you wish you had to start investing, all the money that you wish you had to take trips, all the money that you wish you had to put your kids through college, you're currently giving that money to the IRS. And my advice is stop doing that. Okay. Now, that's the bad news. Everybody take a deep breath, right? It's going to be okay. Everybody take a deep breath. Here's the good news. The good news about taxes is this. The tax code was actually not created to make you pay a lot of money in taxes. Like drop yes in the chat if you're happy to hear that. The tax code was not created to make you pay a lot of money in taxes. Here's the next thing. The tax code is actually, believe it or not, is actually a rule book teaching you how to legally avoid paying taxes, right? The tax code is actually a rule book teaching you how to legally avoid paying taxes. Here's the problem. You can't win the game if you don't know the rules, right? So until you start learning the rules of taxes, you don't know what play to run to be able to win the game. And I want to make sure you change that, right? Today, I'm gonna give you the plays. I'm gonna give you some news that you can use to live tax-free in 2023 and beyond, okay? So I'm gonna skip past that. So there's only 2 rules you need to know, guys. I'm not gonna sit here and like give y'all tax code line items. There's really only 2 things you need to know if you want to win the game of taxes, okay? So rule number 1 is if you want to win the game, not only do you need to know the rules, but you have to be on the right team, right? You have to be on the right team. Now, some of you all like, Carter, what do you mean by right team? I didn't know I didn't know we were playing that type of game. So let me tell you what that means. And again, don't shoot the messenger, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. This is just the way it is. I didn't make the rules. I just follow them. The tax code is not made to benefit employees, okay? The tax code was not made to benefit employees. The tax code was created to benefit entrepreneurs and investors, okay? The tax code was created to benefit entrepreneurs and investors, not employees. So do me a favor. In the chat, drop W-2 if you're an employee and drop business if you're a business owner, or drop both if you got both. I tailor my presentation based on the response in the room. And if y'all know Herman, that means y'all all better have businesses.
Better have an LLC. They better.
Better. They'll never play us, right? Okay. So that's good. That's good. That's good. So, like, let me tell you all. I'll skip past that because I want to make sure I get to the strategies I want to get to today.
Hey, Carter, can you show them that? They have to see that.
They have to. They need that mic. Okay.
They have to see that picture.
Okay. So let me because I can tell you all why, but I really want to show you how. Right. So, because most people I don't understand the difference. So let me show you how things work if you're a W-2 employee versus a business owner, right? So if you're a W-2 employee, you go to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Some of y'all job got y'all working Saturdays too. So you go to work 5-6 days a week. Before you sniff your paycheck, right? You go to work 5-6 days a week. Before you sniff your paycheck, somebody in the comments, let me know what happens. Somebody help me out. Before you even see your paycheck, there we go. Uncle Sam comes and say, hey, run them pockets. I'm going to need federal taxes up out of you. Depending on where you live, I'm going to need state taxes up out of you. And let's be honest, has anybody ever seen their pay stub and seen that line item FICA? He was like, who the hell is FICA? And why is she taking so much of my money? Right? So you got to pay federal tax, state tax, and FICA tax, which going to be about 40 to 50%, depending on where you live. And then you get your paycheck after that, right? And then you get your paycheck. But guess what? Now you got to use what's left to pay bills like your rent, like your car payments, like your groceries. And then you wonder why ain't no money left to spend. Right? So that's how things work. That's how things work for most people. That's how things work for employees, right? Now, if you're a business owner, like Herman teaches y'all to be, if you're a business owner, things work a little bit different for us business owners. So all my business owners, again, take a deep breath. You don't got to worry about that. This is how things works for us. It's a whole lot better on this side, I promise you, okay? Here's how things work for us. We make money in our business, right? We make money in our business. We go to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We make money in our business. And then after we make money in our business, we can then spend our money on tax deductible items like our rent, like our cars, like our utilities. Okay? Let's take a step back. So we make money in our business, and then second, we get to spend money on tax-deductible items like our rent, like our cars, like our utilities. I'll explain that in a second. And then after we get done spending money on the things that we want to spend money on, then we pay the IRS last. You see, a lot of y'all problem is y'all are too busy paying the IRS first when you should be paying yourself first and paying the IRS last. Drop pay me first in the chat if you know you deserve to start paying yourself first. Right? So business owners, we make money, we spend money on tax-deductible items, and then we pay the IRS last. And let me let y'all in on a little secret, family. Let me let y'all in on a secret. Not only are we going to pay the IRS last, okay? Keep this between us, okay? Not only are we going to pay the IRS last, but when it comes time to pay them, we gonna make sure that ain't no money left to pay them. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. I'm from the south side of Chicago, okay? I'm a world-class finesser with tasteful gestures, okay? Like by the time it gets time to pay them at the end of the year, ain't gonna be no money left to pay them because we gonna either spent it and reinvested into our business or invested in real estate, so we ain't paying them no money at the end of the year. And now I'm gonna teach you all how to do that. Does that make sense? Like, is this helping y'all? Is this helping anybody out? Let me know if I'm talking to myself. Okay, I'm gonna pull some of y'all faces up. That's what we're gonna see. Claudia, is this helping you? Okay, all right, bet. Cool. Ashley, you good over there? All right, bet. All right, so now that we understand how things work, let's understand how to work them to our best interest, right? So the first rule you need to know is you have to be on the right team. That's important. You need to be a business owner or an investor. Now, second rule, you have to understand the rules of write-offs. Now, be honest. Okay, we have family in here, right? Can we all be honest? We have family. Can we be honest? Okay, cool. How many of y'all have ever heard the word write-off, but you don't really know what it means? Keep it a buck. How many of y'all heard the word write-off, but you like write off what, from where, who? Like my so my sister called me like 2 months ago, and she was like, Carter, can I write this off? I was like, she's like, bro, can I write this off? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, who do I write it to? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I fail as a brother, right? Real talk. But like, you know, I handle her taxes, so she don't gotta worry about any of that stuff. Anyway, so I want y'all to know what write-off means, right? So write-off, so if you have $100,000 of income and you have no write-offs, that means you have to pay taxes on the whole 100K, right? If you have $100,000 of income, no write-offs, you have to pay taxes on the whole 100K. But if you have $100,000 in income, but $30,000 in write-offs, you only have to pay taxes on the $70,000 that's left. Okay? Because income minus write-offs, you have to pay taxes on what's left. Drop got it in the chat if you got it. So what that means is the more write-offs you can find, the lower it makes your taxable income. The lower your taxable income, the less taxes you pay. Okay? Yes, they could have taught us that in 8th grade, but that's a conversation for another day. Okay? So now that we all understand, what does this really mean, right? What does this really mean? Well, the IRS says if you have a business or a side hustle or a 1099 contractor. So first of all, let me explain this to you. If you have a full-time business, if you have a side business, meaning you work W-2 and you have a part-time business, or if you're paid as a 1099 contractor, you all get the same write-offs. There is no difference that write-offs that somebody has what an LLC gets than somebody that's driving Uber, okay? We're all entitled to our tax write-offs. And what the IRS says in IRS Code Section 162A is that if you have a business or a side hustle, any expense that is both ordinary and necessary for you to operate your business, you get to write that expense off on your taxes. Say what? I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back, okay? If you have a business, side business 1099, any expense that is deemed both ordinary and necessary for you to operate your business, you get to write that expense off on your taxes. Okay? So let me ask you all a question. If you drive Uber part-time, right? And you're using your cell phone to pick up your rider, or you're using your cell phone to communicate with your renter, or you're using your cell phone for the Waze app to make sure you're going in the right direction, would your cell phone qualify as both ordinary and necessary to operate your business? Okay, so you mean to tell me that something that you're already paying for, a personal expense that you're already paying for, once you start the business can start paying the expense and you can start receiving the tax deductions? That's crazy, right? So I don't know if y'all having the same epiphany right now that I had 10 years ago when I found this out. Here's the epiphany I had. I said, so you mean to tell me that most of my personal expenses immediately become tax deductible business expenses the moment I start the business? That's crazy. That's crazy. So what do y'all think I did? What do y'all think I did? Once I learned that, I was at my W-2 job when I learned this. What do y'all think I did as soon as I learned this? Somebody let me know. Like, you don't gotta tell me nothing twice. I'ma run the play with no delay. So I said, I'm starting me a side business. You can watch this. I'm starting me a side business. So, like, is it okay if I show y'all a quick way on how to make more money and pay less taxes at the same time? Would that help anybody in this room as we round up this year?
100.
1,000? Okay, cool. So, and again, I'm gonna give you all, I'm not gonna give you all something I think is gonna work. I'm gonna give you all something that I know is gonna work because I did it myself. Okay. This is not theory, this is facts. So I learned this at my last W-2 job, y'all. And I ain't gonna lie, just because you got your CPA license, don't mean you know everything about taxes. So when I was at my W-2 job, you know, they got me because they like, Carter, we're gonna pay you $100,000. We can pay you $100,000. You come work for us. I said, say less. I'm on the way. What they didn't tell me is that I had a silent business partner called the IRS, and being single in the state of Illinois, making $100,000, you are in the 40% tax bracket. So that means I wasn't making $100,000 because, where we go? I wasn't making $100,000 because I had a $40,000 tax bill. Somebody dropped that's too much in the chat. Don't tell me I'm about to make 100,000 if I'm really only making 60, right? So I had a $40,000 tax bill. So I'm like, yo, I got to figure this out. So instead of just getting mad like most people, I decided to get mad. I decided to get mad and get smart at the same time. So I'm like, I learned this IRS code section 162A that said if I start a side business, I can turn my personal expenses into business expenses and start writing off my life. So I started a side business. And for me, I didn't have that much time because I was working 60, 70 hours a week. So I said, what business can I start that won't require any of my time? So I had just bought this brand new 2015 at the time Dodge Challenger. It was my baby, right? But not only was I not driving it that often, it was costing me $600 a month to keep. $400 a month car note, $200 a month insurance. So I'm like, let me do this. Let me, instead of just keeping a liability, let me turn my liability into an asset so it can stop taking money out of my pocket every single month and start putting money back into my pocket every single month, right? And so many of us would be better off if we found ways to stop buying liabilities or find ways to turn our liabilities into assets so they can put money in our pocket versus taking money out of our pocket, right? That's financial literacy 101. So I started this churro business and I was making about $600 a month in profit. So I was making about $7,200 a month, a year, right? And income from the side business. Now, I know that's not a lot of money because I know some of y'all in here rich, right? But I didn't start the business just for the income. Why did I start the business, y'all? I didn't start the business for the income. I started the business for the, Anthony, I appreciate you, tax deductions, right? So I started the business for tax deductions. So let's talk about it. So we just talked about if I'm using my cell phone to take pictures of my vehicle, if I'm using my cell phone to upload those pictures to Turo, if I'm using my cell phone to communicate with my renter, that means my cell phone is both ordinary and necessary to operate my business, correct? And according to IRS code section 162A, any expenses, both ordinary and necessary to operate my business, I get to write off on my taxes. Now, I don't know how expensive y'all phone bill is, but I got Verizon. So my phone bill is $150 a month. And $150, yeah, see, who's that? Mike, he's like, yeah, that's about right, brother. So my phone bill is $150 a month, $150 a month times 12. That is $1,800 a year that I get as a tax deduction for writing off my cell phone. Right? Again, the moment you start the business, a lot of your personal expenses become business expenses. Now, here's the next thing. So I'm like, okay, bet. Wait a second. You mean to tell I'm making $600 a car? If I get 10 vehicles, I can quit my job. So I decided to purchase a course on how to increase your Turo fleet so that you can get more cars. So I spent $2,000 on this course. So help me out, y'all. Would education be ordinary and necessary to operate your business? I'm not sure. Claudia says yes. Anthony says yes. Redden says yes. Kareem says yes. So, I hear that, like, I don't know about y'all, but I hear the noise. People say like online courses is a scam. Like, online education is a scam. So y'all sure y'all can write that off? And real quick, if we want to talk about it, I mean, I don't know if I have time to go there. I'm gonna go there anyway. Like the real scam, here's the real scam. And before I say this, I have more degrees than a thermometer. Okay. But here's the real scam. We were convinced to go to college and spend $100,000 to learn from somebody who is not doing what we want to do and who damn sure ain't making the money that we trying to make. We're taught to pay them $100,000 and we can't write that off on our taxes because college education is not tax deductible. But you mean to tell me, like, I can go pay a billionaire like Grant Cardone to learn about real estate? I can go pay a multi-millionaire like Gary Vee to learn about content creation. I can go pay these people who are doing what I want to do and making the money I want to make. And you mean to tell me every dollar that I pay them for mentorship or courses, I get to write off 100% on my taxes? That's crazy. Right? So what I did, I paid $2,000 for this Turo course, and I got to write off 100% of that cost as education, right? Because the right type of education is tax deductible. That's the whole point for that long rant I just went on, okay? So now here's something that happened on accident. Now I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all things I did on purpose, and I'm gonna tell y'all things I did on accident, right? Now, I could not take the course at work because I would get fired. Let's keep it real. So I couldn't take the course at work, so I had to take the course when I got home from work. So I took the course when I got home, and I sat down in my home office at home, and I took the course while I was at home. Now, here's what I didn't know back then, but I understand now. If you have a home office where you work from in your business or your side business, you get to take advantage of something called the home office deduction. And with the home office deduction, you are able to write off a portion of your rent every single month. Okay? So in my particular case, I got to write off $500 a month off my rent from working from home in my home office. So $500 a month times 12, that is, I got a $6,000 tax deduction for writing off my rent for working from the crib. Now, how many of y'all got home offices that y'all working from, but y'all ain't take this deduction? Y'all wild. Right? But you ain't know, so you couldn't do. But when you know better, you do better. That's why we always preach that information changes situations and conversations change compensation, right? When you know better, you can do better. So now here's the last thing. Now, this is a hard question, so think about this, okay? I need y'all to think about this. Would my vehicle count as ordinary and necessary to operate my business? Y'all sure? Well, my business count is ordinary and necessary. I bring my business. Like, you can't have a car rental business without having a car. So due to that fact, I got to write off every expense associated with my vehicle. I got to write off interest on my car note, car insurance, parking, gas, repairs and maintenance, oil changes, details, parking. I think I said parking already. And all these expenses, including this expense called depreciation, which the IRS lets you write off a portion of the value of your vehicle. So I say all that to say, when it was all said and done, I had about a $20,000 tax deduction for my car. Okay. That's a lot of expenses. You see? So I'm here, here's the crazy part. I made $7,200 in income. But if we add all these expenses up, I had $29,800 worth of expenses. So I had $7,200 of income, but I had $29,800 worth of expenses. So somebody do me a favor. Help me out. What is $29,800 minus $7,200? Let me see if y'all paying attention. Claudia, I appreciate you. So that means that our business, our side business took a loss. Our business took a loss of $22,600. So let me ask y'all a very important question. What happens with business losses? Does anybody know? Edric. Oh, that's my dog. Okay, of course you know this. Okay. So what most people don't realize is that business losses get subtracted from any other income that you have, including your W-2 income. So what's crazy is we didn't make $100,000 at work. We really only made, what's that, $77,400. So we really didn't make $100K at work. We really made $77,400. So when your taxable income drops, what else drops? Does anybody know? When your taxable income drops, what else drops? Claudia, your tax bracket. There you go. So we're not in the 40% tax bracket. Now we're in closer to the 30% tax bracket, right? So now, if we put our calculators, if we do $77,400 times 30%, that means our new tax bill is $23,220. But wait a second. Since the IRS gets their money first, we already paid them $40,000 because they took the money out of our paycheck, but we really only owed them $23,000. So now what happens? There we go. So now we're going to get a federal tax refund of $16,780, right? Because so now they owe us money. So not only did we make an extra $7,000 from our side business, we actually reduced our tax liability by $16,780, which when we file taxes, the government is going to give us a $16,000 refund check, which you can use to fire your boss and go all in your side business. Right? So that's what I did 6 years ago. And here I am today to tell the story. Right? But one thing I need you all to understand is if you want to pay less tax, you need to change the facts. And the only fact that we change is going from a W-2 employee to having a side business. Right? How many of y'all are going to implement this in y'all life now that y'all know y'all can do it? right? Like the easiest way to make more money is to pay less taxes. Period. Right? So, as y'all pick y'all brains up off the floor, you say what, Mike?
Drop the mic.
So here's what I need you all to be considering, right? Like, what can I do? What strategies can I implement to make sure I pay the least amount of taxes as possible? Right? And Mike, I think I got time to give him one more. Can y'all handle one more? Everybody can handle one more?
Oh yeah, we got time.
I got one more? Okay, cool. Let me
Can't hear you. Carter, can you hear me? I can't hear you. No, you good. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, I couldn't unmute myself. I couldn't unmute myself. My bad. All right. I ain't got a lot of time, but I want to quickly teach y'all how to write off your vehicles. Would that help anybody in the room? Okay. All right. So, hey, I'm gonna rip through this. So I need y'all to listen fast as I talk fast. All right. I don't want to get out the car and see I left some people back on the highway. Okay. All right. So I want to teach you all how I bought my dream car and saved $120,000 in taxes in the process. Okay. Let's talk about it. So, put my chat back up so I can see y'all. Okay, cool. So, last year I bought a Lamborghini Urus and it saved me $120,000 in taxes, and it makes me probably about $10,000 to $12,000 a month at this point. So, let's talk about how I did that. All right. So, I'm gonna give you a step-by-step guide on how to do this. All right. So, number one, if you want to do this strategy, you must have a business, right? You must have a business. We talked about that. Or you can turn your car into a business, like I said with the Turo example, right? So you must have it. You must have a business, or you can turn your vehicle into a business. All right. Step number two, I want you to get a car that weighs over 6,000 pounds. Now, the car does not need to weigh over 6,000 pounds all the time, but if you want to get a massive deduction and write off the type of money I'm about to teach you how to write off, the car has to be over 6,000 pounds. Let's give me all the biz. So get a vehicle that weighs over 6,000 pounds and get it in your business's name. Whose name did I say get the car in? I want you to get a car that weighs over 6,000 pounds and get the car in your whose name? Business's name. Okay? Business's name. So Herman teaches y'all how to get y'all LLCs and put everything in your business. Like, I want you to get the car in your business name. Okay? Now, can I let you all in on a little secret that your CPA or tax professional is probably not going to tell you? Okay? I want to let you all in on a little secret that your CPA or tax professional is probably not going to tell you. Okay? I want you to get the car in your business name because I want you separating your personal and your business assets, right? I want you building your business credit.
No commingling. That's right.
No commingling, right? But as far as the IRS goes, they don't care whether you get the car in your personal name or your business name in order to write it off on your taxes. Okay? Like the IRS doesn't care if the car is in your personal name or your business name in order to write it off on your taxes. All the IRS cares about is, do you plan on using the vehicle at least 50% business use? Right? So if I try to go buy a car in my business name and the loan company says, no, your business is too new, we're not going to let you do that, I could still go back and say, all right, forget it. I'll get the car in my personal name, but use it in my business. As long as I use the car at least 50% business use, I can still write it off in my taxes under my business. Does that make sense? So some of y'all got personal vehicles that you said you got, and you're like, oh, I can't write off on my taxes because not a business vehicle. That is not true. Okay. Although I want you to get it in your business name, I still want you to get the write-off. So even if you get in your personal name, you can still write it off under your business. Somebody say God did, right? So now the next question is, well, Carter, how do I find business use for the vehicle, right? I'm gonna give you all 3 ways to find business use for any vehicle, okay? Here are 3 ways, 3 ways. Number 1, you can rent out your vehicle and turn your car into a business. Easy money, right? Now, the second thing, let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever seen somebody with a Lamborghini or Ferrari or McLaren or whatever, some type of luxury vehicle, and they have their business logo or their Instagram handle plastered all over the vehicle? Anybody ever seen that? Y'all never seen that? Okay. So, do y'all think anybody care about the Instagram handle enough to put it on a $250,000 car? No. Right? The reason they do that is because once you put your Instagram handle or business logo on the vehicle, it's not a vehicle anymore. It's now a moving billboard for your business. So now if you get your Instagram handle put on your vehicle, every time you drive, somebody can say, oh, who's that with the Lamborghini? His name is Cofield _advisor. Let me go look him up. Oh, I should probably go buy something from him because I want a Lamborghini. And because it can bring you in more money in the future, it's now advertising for your business.
Can I tap in real quick, bro?
Go ahead.
So let me know if this is the same. If not, then I'm gonna go get the sticker put on my car. So my license plate says Haitian CEO on my Corvette. That's not the same thing. I gotta go get that sticker.
Yeah, but there's another way, dude. I mean, there's another way. You don't have to be tacky about it, which I'm gonna talk about next. But yeah,
All right,
the license plate doesn't count.
All right, bet.
It's
All
easily
right,
removable. Yeah, like the IRS wants it to be like damn near permanent, because if it's like a magnet, you can put it on, take it off. Now, like they want you to be committed. Like, you know what I'm saying? So license plate you can have on one day, take off the next, right?
Got you.
Same thing with clothing. If you're gonna write off your clothes, your logo has to be stitched or pressed. It can't be like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, another way, my favorite way is, so if y'all follow me, y'all probably see my Lamborghini in some of my content. If y'all ever see me on ads, y'all probably saw my Lamborghini in some of my ads. Now, I had somebody DM me the other day. It was like, damn, bro, how many times you gonna show the Lamborghini? Like, flex much? And I'm like, first of all, bro, you do not know me like that to be sliding my DMs like that, first of all. Second of all, I kindly responded. I said, see, the difference between me and you is you buy things to show off. I buy things to write off. We are not the same. So the reason that I have my car in all of my social media, the reason I have my car in all of my ads, because if I run an ad in front of my Lamborghini talking about how to write off vehicles and I was to get audited, I can show the IRS my Facebook ad manager, and I can show them just how much money our business has generated from that ad. So not only is putting your vehicle in your ads social proof, it's also audit proof, because now you have legitimate proof that you're making using your car in your business. So those are 3 ways to find business use for any vehicle, right? So if you do that, like I mentioned before, and y'all can take a screenshot of this, here's a list of all the expenses that you're able to write off. You can write off interest on your car note. You can write off car insurance, gas, repairs, tires, car washes, parking. And there's one other major expense that you can write off as well, which is called depreciation. Okay. Now, depreciation is, for those of you all that don't know, like if you try to go buy a car, if you buy a car this morning and you drive around the lot and you try to sell it back to them, they're not going to give you what you just paid for. Why is that? Because a car is a depreciating asset, and they know that. So because your car is going to lose value over time, the IRS says, well, hey, we understand that your car is going to lose value in the future. We get that. So we want to give you a tax deduction today for your car losing value later. I'm like, say what? They say, yeah. We want to give you a tax deduction today for your car losing value in the future. So I'm like, yo, don't threaten me with a good time. How much are we talking? So in 2023, the IRS will allow you to write off 80% of the purchase price of the vehicle the year that you purchase it. That's crazy. So the IRS says, if you go get a vehicle now, put no money down, and we will allow you to write off whatever 80% of the sticker price is today. So let me, just in case y'all don't understand what that means, let me take y'all through an example. So one of the students in my program, they had about an $80,000 net income last year. Had an $80,000 net income last year, right? So like, Carter, how can I save money on taxes? I'm like, well, I'll go through all the plays, and I'm like, well, how much net income do you have? They said 80K. I said, well, if you don't do anything on $80,000 in net income, you're going to probably have to pay $32,000 in taxes. That's ridiculous. They're like, well, Carter, we don't want to pay $32,000 in taxes. What can we do? I said, okay, what does your business need? We went through this whole spiel. And they were like, well, you know, they're a real estate company. Like, we really want to Cadillac Escalade to like pick up our high net worth clients from the airport, give them a black car driver to look at the properties. I said, okay, well, like, go get the Cadillac Escalade before the year is out. So they went to Cadillac. They had amazing credit, great business credit. They've been in business 10 years. They got the Cadillac Escalade with no money down. They went to Cadillac, signed the paperwork, put in the business name. The vehicle was about a $100,000 vehicle, and they didn't have to put any money down, drove off the lot. And so like, can we write this off? I'm like, yeah, like how much? Well, I'm like, you all get to write off 80% of the sticker price this year. So they did the math. They were like, you mean to tell me I get an $80,000 tax deduction and I spent no money? I said, absolutely right. They said, well, what is this going to do for our tax situation? I said, well, let's talk about it. If you have $80,000 of net income, but you also have an $80,000 tax deduction, how much is your tax bill now? Exactly. Zero. So they went from having a $32,000 tax bill to having a $0 tax bill from running one play. Like, do y'all understand that a lot of y'all are one play away from living tax-free in 2023? Like, do me a favor, drop one play in the chat if y'all know y'all are one play away from living tax-free today. Now, here's my next question. In sports, who calls the plays? In sports, who calls the plays? The coach calls the plays. Got it. So if you're wondering why you don't have a play to run, it's because you don't have a coach teaching you the play. Like, so many people try to do the taxes on their own, or they like expect their CPA to do everything. You need somebody teaching you the strategies so that you can run the play with no delay. Right? And that's why I'm here teaching you all today. That's why y'all get Herman. Y'all need to have somebody teaching you the plays so that you can run the play. Right? So like, my goal is to help you all live tax-free. My goal is to teach you all the strategies. My goal is to put you in position to win. And that's what I hope this presentation did for you all today. So, was that helpful?
Was it helpful? But drop a fire emoji in the chat if this was helpful for y'all tonight. Drop a fire. Don't be cheap with it. Don't be cheap with it. Sheesh, was it helpful? Was it helpful? Man, I appreciate you, Carter. I thought you was going to keep it light tonight. I thought you was going to keep it light, but I appreciate you there, bro. Thank you so much.
So, guys,
There go the fire emojis in the chat, man. I appreciate
I don't know what. if I put space, I'll automatically mute my. That's what it is. Okay. But yeah, y'all. I mean, that's what I love teaching, man, and that's what I love doing. So like, yeah. So Mike, do you want to do?
Yeah, hold on, Carter. So everybody, do me a favor. Everybody, come off mute and tell Carter thank you. Everybody, it is Carter. It's 150.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Bless
you
up.
so much.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Thank you.
Great
Hello.
job.
Love
I have
is
a
love.
question.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Carter.
Thanks a lot.
Hello.
Thank you so
I have a
much.
question.
Yeah,
Bless up.
appreciate it.
That's what's up.
All right, so guys,
Can we ask questions?
yeah, hold on for that 1 second. So guys, just again, we thank you so much for coming on the call on behalf of our founder Herman and our CEO Damaris. Again, we thank you so much for that call. Just guys, hold your questions for 1 second.